you mentioned there your anxiety, and that's something I just had no idea that you ever suffered from. You seem so impenetrable when you see you in these kind of high-status hosting roles on TV. And in the book, you talk about was it a lifelong battle with anxiety? You wake up anxious?
Not really. Yeah, I wake up at about 5 a.m. With a panic attack most days, more often than not, which isn't great. But people have got it worse than me. I don't need to medicate. I can kind of white knuckle it. I try and see how many people suffer with anxiety by round of applause. Yeah. There's a lot of us, right? And the way that I see it is it's the kind of negative side of having a creative mind. So your mind is racing, so you're going to overthink things, and there's methods of kind of dealing with it, but I try and see it as a positive and go, look, all of the good stuff, okay, so it comes with this as well, and that's okay. I think the more that people talk about it and share, the better. Because, the thing that every therapist should tell you, I kind of say it in the book, but every therapist should sit you down and go, there's other therapies, it's not just me. Because I'm not really interested in the Freudian sit on a couch and talk about your relationship with your mother. I know where it all comes from. So that thing of like, what am I going to do to deal with it? And that thing of like going, well, it could be CBT or it could be NLP or something. Those therapies are available and they're really sort of valuable and really work. And
you've really kind of walked the walk there. Like you describe from a really inside perspective how those different therapies have affected you because you've done loads of that stuff. There was a moment, I wanted to ask you, there's a moment in the book where you refer to dancing the 5 rhythms during a thunderstorm. And I honestly couldn't tell whether that was you taking the piss out of hippie bullshit or a thing you've genuinely done.
I've done all that hippie bullshit.
You've done it?
All of Dancing the 5 Rhythms, I couldn't recommend it highly enough. Beautiful experience. Walking on hot coals.
Okay.
Fucking nothing. Don't worry about it. Pointless exercise.
Is there good and bad therapy? Do you undergo a thing and go... Ugh.
I think there's a lot of therapy. The walking on coals thing is just to G's people up, but it doesn't specifically tell them what to do.
Okay.
So you get a lot of kind of excitement, but then what's the next step? What am I going to do next? Mm-hmm. And I'm much more into the therapy, and the stuff that I tried to put in the book was that stuff of going, okay, so what's tomorrow? What we doing next?
And are you motivated to write about it from the perspective of working through it for yourself as much as from the perspective of trying to help other people?
At the end of the book, I sort of do, right at the end, I sort of do a little summing up of all the things. And I read it back and went, I do about half this shit about half the time. But I'd be a fucking superstar if I did it all. So part of the act of writing is to kind of remind yourself, actually, you should do more of this.
And there's something about your job, there's something about doing stand-up comedy and the fact that relies upon having a healthy relationship with failure that probably, that helps, right? That you can lean into the idea of failing, get comfortable with it.
Well, if there's any reason to kind of write the book, it's to kind of to get away from the Instagram world of perfection that people see, because all you see on Instagram and in the social media world is perfection. You see results, and you never see the hard work, and you never see the anxiety, you never see anything else. So stripping that away, I think, is quite important because it just seems impossible. I think there's a lot of young people that look at that stuff and just go, it's just a perfect world that I'm not part of, and I don't feel like that. I mean, you have this weird sensation now where people are sort of jealous of their online identity.
Yeah.
Because they're so sort of far removed from it. I'm always smiling in photos, but I don't feel that way inside. And there's a mental health crisis with young people because that world is being portrayed. And people can't live up to it. They can't possibly live up to it. Yeah, it's terrible, right? I think I talk in the book about, quite arrogantly, about comedian superpowers, the things that comedians do better than anyone else. And one of the things is failure. We're really good with failure. Because, if you're trying jokes, I've written more jokes that don't work than anyone else in the room. Maybe you. But, we write a lot of jokes. That wasn't a dig. But that thing of I've written so many jokes that don't work. I've pitched so many shows that didn't get made. I've failed more at comedy than anyone else. And that's what led me to success. And, owning that failure and, being proud of your failures and, that's the kind of battle-worn thing. That's a great way to live. That's a great way to kind of just to think about it differently.
Can you teach someone, or could you teach yourself to get better at failing, to become more comfortable with failure?
Yeah, you fail in. I mean, the trick is not to fail the same way every time. You fail differently every time, and then eventually you sort of practice so much you kind of practice till you can't get it wrong. Yeah, that's.
Can you give us an example of something you fucked up recently?
I fuck up things all the time. I think owning it's quite an important thing. I've got a couple of stories about, like, in the book as well, about, like, fucking up and owning it and being responsible, and that seems to work. And okay, it's a story. I told it on the news recently, but I'll tell you. So I went to test drive a Tesla. I didn't go to test drive a Tesla. I went to the shopping mall because it was raining. But I was bored, and me and Caroline just thought, all right, we'll go to the shops. Went to Westfield, this big shopping centre in Shepherd's Bush. There's a store in there. We got coffee and food and stuff. We're looking around the shops. There's a store that sells Tesla cars. And I'm amused, because I'm from a different generation, that you can buy a car in a shopping mall. That seems dumb to me. So I went in there and got chatting to the guy. There's a really charming guy in there. And he went, would you want to take one for a test drive? And I went, what, now? And he went, yeah, we go right now. And I went, yeah, let's do this. It's exciting. And then we went down. It's one of these ones with the gull wing, like Star Trek doors. It's cool. And we get in it, and Caroline's next to me, and we're whizzing around. It's like a go-kart. They run like go-karts, right? It's really fast talk. I like it. I don't need a car. I've got a car. Don't need a car. Just a bit of fun. I told the guy that. Fine. So we're driving around Shepherd's Bush. Great, this is lovely. Thanks very much. Better get back. And we got back into Westfield. If you've been there, it's fucking enormous. And we got lost in the basement. And so the guy from Tesla goes, oh, right, if I move those cones over there, with just the charging stations over there, we're going to be golden. So he gets out and he moves 5 cones, and so I can drive through. And obviously he's 20 yards over that way, so I just go, well, I'll go and collect him. I hadn't realised his door was open, hit the door on a gantry, hit the door, took the door off. It was hanging by one bit of cable, so it was like the Terminator, but it wasn't dead yet. It still had the light in its eyes. And the guy's I couldn't see that because I was in the car until I got out. So I was just looking at his face going, oh, that's not good. You know that look you get when you've knocked the door off a brand new Tesla? That look. And I just unwound the window and went, I'll take one. Obviously not this one. This one's fucked. So I now own a Tesla.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Carr, the guy you just saw in that video. Thanks for watching it, because somehow I get money from that. I don't know how. I don't know. Probably it filters through some sort of advert that you watched before you watched the video, maybe? Or maybe you subscribed. Anyway, thanks for watching it, and somehow that benefits me. And hopefully I'll see you at a live show at some point further down the sunny road. Good luck.